Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Bruca.
And Big Boy Summer here. Solo Leveling, episodes 8 and 9. So first of all, it's a big shock to the anime world. Akira Toriyama has passed away and he is the creator of Dragon Ball and subsequent series that have come that we all probably grew up with and has a special place in our hearts. May you rest in peace and love to his family. And I do love the fact that Solo Leveling actually did a nod to Akira Toriyama with the way that Jinu did his little warm-up before he used his dash skill. In episode 8, we saw the reunion of all the characters that survived the double dungeon. Well, the important characters. So we saw Jinu actually confront the people who left him to die and the ones who reluctantly left him to die. Because regardless, everyone in that mix left him to die. And we saw the regrets on Kim and Kang's face when they saw Jinu, thinking, oh snap, we didn't think that we were going to actually have to confront our bad doings. But I don't really blame him as such. They were in a kind of weird situation. I don't know if I wouldn't have done the same thing, you know what I mean?
It was just an awkward situation. I mean, what do you say? Do you send him a I'm sorry I ran off and left you to die card? It's just awkward, and they ended up again in a dungeon together. Kim and Kang must have really been thinking like, the last thing that we did, it left such a bad taste in literally everyone's mouths. To me, they did the right thing. Whatever choice they made in the moment would have been the right thing.
Yeah, there's no wrong choices.
It was such a difficult decision to make, and it was a split-second decision, and everyone was going off of panic, and no one could actually do anything to stop what was happening from happening. Yeah, they could have done what he was saying, but again, like I said, when it was happening, who knows? Maybe he was wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Look, there was no concrete proof that what Jinu was saying was actually true. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. There's no concrete proof that what Jinu was saying was actually true and actually was relevant to what was going on. And so to leave your hands in the A, an E-rank hunter, and B, someone who's, you know, the worst performer in every dungeon that you've ever seen them in every situation, and he's got a couple of things right. He's still betting on Goliath in a David and Goliath fight. Do you get what I mean? It's just one of them ones. Like, I get it. You can feel guilty. They have every right to feel guilty. They even have every right to say sorry and whatnot, but they can't say they were wrong, you know?
Yeah. So they were discussing, now that they're back in the situation and they have proximity to each other, Mr. Kim and Mr. Kang were talking to each other, saying that they wanted to apologize for the way that everything went down, and they just felt regret. I feel like it's very easy to feel the regret now that everybody survived. However, the people that died in that dungeon, if they were alive to choose again, they would have probably picked to just run off and not listen to whatever anybody was saying, because then they might have actually had a higher chance of survival. It's just one of those things. It's after the fact. Everybody can have hindsight. But yeah, they wanted to apologize, and that did come back full circle near the end of the episode. Not quite the way that they were expecting it to happen.
It was a little bit of poetic justice somewhere along the lines, I guess. Ruka, back to what you were saying about if everyone had to do it again, they would have run off or whatever. Then Jinu would have still been left for dead because he's an E-rank hunter. He's the weakest hunter of all the time. So by the time the right amount of people ran out of the door, doors would have been shut. Jinu dead. Mr. Song. Oh my god, this guy lost an arm. He's still practicing his sword fighting. He's a mage, by the way. He had no business touching the sword in the bloody first place. But he's still practicing his sword fighting. And when it came to him versus Tashik Khan, he was basically, yo, I got this, guys. Let me try it. Juhi, buff me up. I'm going in. And then, let's be honest, he held his own, doing swipes and stuff. He was doing things. And he gave it his all. Tell me, if that is not one of the quintessential things about anime that we do love, is a person who is giving it their all to reach that goal at the end of it. And so, my guy was the embodiment of every MC in classical anime.
Mr. Song is actually a really steadfast older character, and he's not the older character based off of, oh, he's so wise and he's got so many great words. He's actually putting his money where his mouth is. If you look at his physique, You can tell that this man works out, he works hard, and after the E-rank dungeon where his decisions cost many people their lives, he still has kept coming to the dungeons. Although, yeah, he was apologetic for the way that things turned out, it didn't make him spiral. He still continued to take the leadership roles. He actually said, you know what, I would like to take these leadership roles, and carried on. He was showing through his actions that you could fail, you can fall, but that doesn't mean that it has to dictate the rest of your life. You can still come back stronger, even if your decisions was a massive failure or catastrophic. Although I don't think that whatever he decided to do in that situation was ever gonna go anywhere but bad. If it wasn't these guys, it was gonna be a different group of guys in the exact same position. So I don't think he really made the wrong choice. Also, he put it to a vote. He's just a really great character. When he saw that everything was going to hell in this dungeon, yet again with the same people that he had to look after in the double dungeon, he stepped up. He put himself forward. He knew he was the strongest person, the person with the most experience, and although he knew that none of them had a chance against this B-rank hunter, he still went hard, and he showed us his skill level, because in the book, Jinwoo actually talks about Mr. Song and how he is in dungeons because he's been with him a couple of different times, and his leadership skills. This was really showing what he was talking about in the book, and then some.
Yeah, true stalwart guy. That's the guy you call on. That's the uncle that you need. He's that person by your side. Yeah, great show of character there.
Fight.
Episode 9 did not disappoint. Episode 9 showed me that Jinwoo Song is a beast, and I'm going to love watching his fight from here till the end of this anime. You mean to tell me you are fighting a guy who is fast, strong, and can turn invisible, and yet you're there swiping things away like it's nothing? Jinwoo, what kind of monster are you, bruv? Who are you, bruv? Because look. Imagine you're the guy who's got stealth and no one knows about it, and you pull off stealth and you're thinking, yeah, I got this in the bag. And then Jinwoo with his little swipe is blocking all your things, gives you one dirty look, and then stabs you in your heart. That is crazy, man.
The fight was mad, but let's just quickly talk about how we even got to this fight. So Taesik is part of the investigation department, our beloved investigation department. He has taken money from a man whose life has been destroyed by other hunters. These hunters R-worded his daughter, and his wife then had a mental breakdown because of it, and he's just lost everything, and he wants them dead because they just get to spend a short time in prison, come out of prison, and then go about their daily lives where he can't pick up his life. And Taesik agrees that he will do this. He brings those 3 criminals into this dungeon, and he is supposed to kill them and then act as if it was whatever dungeon business happens in the dungeon. However, Taesik is a little bit, he ain't really with us. So he decides that he's just gonna wipe out everybody. He's gonna kill the entire party and just pretend that the boss fight got a little bit dicey, the criminals turned on him, and he survived because he's that guy.
Which would have worked, by the way.
It would have worked if it wasn't for those pesky kids.
Swear down. Look at the young ones in the audience, don't know what we're talking about.
So Jinwoo obviously rock, not just Jinwoo, Joohee and Mr. Song rock up after hearing screams and find the party in disarray, the criminals dead, and the rest of the party members dying. And this psychopath Taesik decides he's gonna just kill them all then and there. Mr. Song steps up like an absolute boss, fights him as a swordsman despite him being a mage. And then we have Jinwoo step up when all seems to get a little bit lost.
During this fight, and Ruka disagrees with me here, but I kind of feel like Taesik was kind of like in his own little world having a bromance with Jinwoo during the fight, because he's like, you're just like me, you killed people before, you're a second awakener, oh my god, I know you, I love you. Like it felt that way to me, and it was just like, you know what, this is weird, but it works because it added depth to the fight. in my opinion, because it wasn't just a fight like overwhelming power versus overwhelming power. It was similar to a game of chess. You're trying to catch the uncatchable. Both of you are really fast, and both of you can swipe really hard. So it was quite nice to add that extra layer in. Obviously, it didn't mean nothing in the end because Taishik ended up dead. But still, I kind of feel like if they weren't fighting and they were playing sports or something, they'll end up for beers afterwards. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Because Taishik has lost it, and you can tell that he has completely lost it. And to him, people just seem like games in general. He felt like he found a kindred spirit in Jinwoo because he felt like Jinwoo also had no humanity, like he doesn't have it. And although Jinwoo was saying that, yeah, he's losing a little bit of his humanity, he isn't.
Yeah,
he's still not very much in touch. It feels weird to him because obviously he's not used to killing other human beings. And on top of that, Jinwoo is fighting the strongest human being he has come across, period, since getting his awakening. And it was an actual real fight he could have died in. I also would say that Jinwoo would have probably died if Taishik wasn't underestimating him from the beginning.
Yes.
Even the
100%.
way that he used his stealth powers was just a bit stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb.
He could have definitely won if he was thinking more strategically.
You were hiding on the roof for ages, bro. All you had to do, go stealth and slit man's throat. Slit everybody's throat. Start with Juhi because she's the healer. Maybe not Song next, Jinwoo next because he's the young one. And then Song last. Come on, standard party tactic. Destroy the healer, ruin the tank, and then, bruv, come on, bruv, you effed up here, man.
Even while they were distracted as they were seeing the people dead on the floor, they were all very distracted. He could have definitely killed...
Ruka. You're right in that sense, yeah. But imagine this. You're fighting one-on-one with Jinwoo Song, yeah? And then the other two are twiddling their thumbs on the side. You're running speeds across this whole cavern, by the way. Why don't you just make a little detour and shank the two of them? Why have you not done that? What was your aim? To destroy everybody? Leave Jinwoo by himself? Cause him some mental distress and slit his throat? If he had done that, he might not be dead right now, you know?
Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. And if you want even more content, hit us up on Bum Anime Insta. It's the place to be. Speaking of people sitting on the sides twiddling their thumbs, Juhi really was disappointing.
What?
But then also kind of boss. Let me get into it. Okay then, so Juhi runs out of mana again, despite the team not coming against any real foes. She had no business running out of mana at all, yet again, and falling all over the floor. Get off the damn floor, bitch! Or don't come into the dungeons.
Well, that's a good part.
She came and displayed a distance heal. This is the first time we've seen her do it, and we can tell that it was something that was, like, impressive, because even Taishik looked at her like, what the I really need to kill this girl. And it was a powerful heal too. That it seems like, so I also feel like that is a possibility. She ran out of mana because she just did this new ability and it takes way more than she's used to taking. But that woman needs to do some mana training because you're a healer, you're very needed, and you can't just be out of mana every single time.
But that's not how the magic system works. But
I don't care.
But forget that part of the magic system. What you just said, she did something amazing. She did two things amazing. Remember the buff that she put on Mr. Song in the first place?
Yeah,
that buff
that's
lasted
true.
for ages.
That buff was also quite buff. So yeah, a little bit of a balance thing here. She underperformed, but then again, she kind of was buff at the same time. But I really just need her to just get off the screen or just stop doing the normal girl stuff that we see in anime. I'm so tired of it now. We don't need to all be sitting on the floor with the knees together and the legs spread out. Like, we're just done with that now. We're tired of you dropping on the floor, screaming, and having your hands covering your face. Like, get a grip.
But it's
Get a grip.
But it's not for you.
Get a grip.
That pose is definitely not for you.
Get a grip. Also, Jinwoo, although we have seen this from the very beginning, from the moment he got the system, this is really the first time where you can really see this sinister element to his power. Like I said, we've seen it already, we've been seeing it.
Yep.
But this episode was so dark. in terms of his power and the way that it is. Him losing the whole emotional feel while he was fighting, the shadows, the fact that all Taysik could see was his eyes and just dark. It really gives, again, this idea of possession and him not being himself.
I am gonna say that we can actually map Jinu's quote-unquote humanity episode by episode. And have you noticed that this is the first episode that we've not had an internal monologue about him being indecisive about his fears or talking about something that is, you know, negative about his past or shortcomings. This was the first time that he's gone, yeah, that's me. I'm him. This was the first time he went, yes, I am him. So I'm looking forward to what's coming up next, because if he's going to keep being him, I'm going to keep watching the screen, you know?
I also think that he's starting to understand how the system works more. Like, the first time he got a quest like this, he was saying, like, the system is trying to force me into doing this. This time around, he said, tone down your killing intent because the system is going to recognize you as a threat, and then it's just even more of a reason to kill you. I already have the reason because you're trying to kill me, but now the system's going to reward me for it. So he also is kind of understanding like how it works and the fact that the system is really working with him.
Yeah, it is. And the way that the system is was like, too late. Here's your quest bit. Now go get him.
Oh, and Jinwoo also gains a new ability after taking Taysik out.
Would have been nice to see it. You know what? It's alright. It's cool. It's the anime, innit? It's the anime. Go on, talk about your best buddies.
The investigation department obviously has to step in because this time a member of the investigation department has died. And on top of that, the people who are left alive, again, are no one that could have possibly done it. So it's yet another flag, and Mr. Wu comes along and finds out that yet again it's the same guy who has already been flagged a couple of times, and he clearly suspects that it's Jinwoo that has killed him, but Mr. Song, of course, steps up and takes the hit and says it was me that killed him, and of course Wu can't really say much. Well, he can, but the investigation department is doing what the investigation department does, which is pretty much nothing. He even said, oh, who would have guessed that Kang was out here killing people? Oh, me? But I didn't do anything. I guess I was careless. Better luck next time. They are so nonchalant. I don't even know why the department exists. It's really weird. And I don't know how Taysik would have even passed a psych eval. What the hell?
It went something like this. What rank are you? B? Alright, you're in. Alright, you're in. But I'm really no, you're in. But I want to kill. No, it's fine. You're in.
But it's gone to the point where the investigation department can't really keep ignoring Jinwoo. He keeps coming up. He's not hiding. Well, he's trying to, but it's not going very well, and he's being flagged over and over again. Yeah, there's only so many times the E ranker can be the sole survivor or the last survivor in these very precarious situations.
Ruka, this one's different. Everyone who survived has survived a double dungeon. So he's kind of like inside the crowd sort of thing of anomaly people. Like, you know what I mean? He's in the crowd. He's hiding in plain sight.
No. It's a wrap for him.
I'm trying, Jinwoo. You can't. Come on, bub.
He's already highly suspected, but since Wu doesn't really do anything with people he suspects, maybe he'll be aight. I don't really know, but okay, we do know, but the investigation department steps in, I guess.
No, we're not going to rating. No, listen. The investigation department has a lot on its plate. Also, what do you do the moment that Jinu, Juhi, and Mr. Song saw Taysik, yeah? Why didn't they just walk out of the dungeon, like go back on themselves.
You can't do that
No.
because of the way the sign-up system works when it comes to doing dungeons. You can't just decide that you're not going to do it once you've already signed up to it.
No, I said walk backwards. Like they saw all the dead people on the floor. They should try and make a run for the entrance and tell everyone, listen, this is what's happening. Get the investigation crew here.
To do what?
To stand outside and drink coffee and watch what's going on. Patients running amok.
Do you know how you can tell that this investigation team is so corrupt?
Go on, tell me.
A random father approached someone from the team with money and said, well, what happens in dungeons that means everyone knows what happens in dungeons happens in dungeons. However, let me ask you this. Do you think that any government or police department in any country is corrupt?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Would you be confident enough to approach a high-ranking member of what said corrupt person and say, hey, can you kill someone for me? Not just one person, but can you kill 3 people for me?
No, I will not.
That's how you know it's that corrupt, because he was confident
Ruka,
that
you're
it was
making sense,
fine.
you know. You're actually making pure sense here. That is,
How corrupt do you need to be? And it's just an it's not even a secret. Everybody is talking about how in dungeons, people murder people on purpose. It's just talked about freely with anyone. That's how you know things are bad. Ratings. What do you rate the episode?
Well, since it's episode 8 and 9, as a combined rating for the 2 episodes, because they are basically part of the same episode to me, I will give it a 9 out of 10.
Combined. Stop it. Because we both know episode 8 didn't give you anything.
Yeah. Episode 9 carried 9 points.
Stop playing. This episode was absolutely great. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it hit everywhere. It's getting a 10. 10s across the board. If you've made it this far, you're a real one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to get more of our episodes. See you on the next one. Peace.